Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, rock stars, how y'all doing on this fine Thursday? You'll be seeing this on Friday. First story up, let's talk about politics. Let's get that out the way. They're saying that the House Ethics Committee has voted to publicly release Matt Gaetz's investigation, the report that they had done on him. Remember, that was sealed and we did not know what it entailed. However, the House Ethics Committee has decided to release that. Now, I think Matt Gaetz, if I remember correctly, he's already pulled his name out of the hat, so he is not going to be. What was he in line for? Was it Attorney General? I think it was Attorney General. I think that he has withdrawn his name, so Ysap would not be choosing him. However, now with all of the hoopla and the talk about, Ysap's junk drawer, now we get to see what they say about Matt Gaetz and his old nasty ass sleeping out there with these young girls and flying them all over the place and offering them up to his cronies and all that. So we'll be seeing that soon. They say it should be releasing any day now as Congress is about to go on Christmas vacation. That is, if Congress does not go into, if our federal government does not go into a government shutdown, because that is what has been threatened. Apparently, Elon Musk has demanded that we go into a government shutdown because that would be better than them passing some bogus legislation just to get the job done before everybody leaves. Yes, you heard correctly. Elon Musk, who, if I think about this whole thing, we did not vote. First of all, we ain't even voted for Ysap, but he's in the office. Well, he will be in office in January. At least we didn't. I mean, the country, that's a whole nother. But I'm just talking about us and me and you and the rock stars. Yeah, we didn't vote for him to be in office. However, he is going to be there, right? Well, for some reason, Elon Musk seems to believe that he has that type of power in the junk drawer that he will be able to demand these kind of things. I mean, if you were listening to the story and watching how Elon Musk has been moving ever since Ysap was elected, he looks like he does have a whole lot of say when it comes to Congress and our own federal government. Yes, I know that he is just a regular business owner like everybody else, yet and still he seems to have quite a bit of say. And that, you guys, is a sarcastic and rhetorical type of a comment. I know I have to point those things out because sometimes you guys don't pick up on my sarcasm. Yeah, Elon Musk is flexing his power. So far, Ysap is letting him do it. But I can just tell you that I cannot wait till these two fall out because their personalities are too similar. Elon believes that he is very important. And I don't know if I can see Ysap and his ego allowing Elon Musk to take over the way that Elon wants to. Right now is good. It's all good in the hood right now, but we just gonna stay tuned, okay? But yeah, they're threatening that we're gonna have a government shutdown. We don't need that. I know that the federal workers, I don't work for federal government, but I know federal workers, when they have shutdowns, then that puts their pay into question. You know, the regularity of their pay and all of that could come into some problems. You know, I think that they try to avoid that, but if it goes on, then they could also be affected. So, I mean, the government shutdown, we don't need that to happen, but Elon seems to believe so. Okay, so there's that. We'll see what happens with it. As far as the Matt Gaetz report, I'm sure it's going to be shocking. I'm sure it's going to have some stuff on there. I mean, the fact that they had sealed it lets you know that it was probably some shit on there that they did not want the general public to see. But the way that this country works these days is, I mean, you can elect a convicted felon for presidency. So his business is just going to be out there, but I don't know if it's going to affect anything that Matt Gaetz needs to do in his life. He's just going to move forward as usual. So maybe a little embarrassment and everything, but this too shall pass. I'm sure that's what Matt is thinking. Okay, at least that's how things seem to have been going lately. So yeah, but I guess that's it. I guess that's it on politics. I'm sure it's way more stuff going on, but that's all we're going to talk about here today. All right, y'all, let me know what you think about that. What you think about Elon and his position. Do you think that him and Ysap are going to forge this brotherhood that lasts for I was about to say 4 seasons, 4 years? I mean, many of us don't believe it can happen. Those egos over there are very big, but stranger things have happened. We'll see what happens. As far as this shutdown, Lord, I hope that doesn't happen. But again, we'll see. Next story. All right, now that we got politics out the way, you guys, let's talk about Jay-Z, this update. Listen, I know that every week people want me to talk about Jay-Z. Somebody was like, Jay-Z's story should be at the beginning every time. And I was just like, but what exactly has happened other than the same thing that's been happening? Both sides are coming back and forth at each other saying this side did this side did that. I think the latest is we saw that Busby has decided that he is pressing charges against Roc Nation and all the people involved there, including Jay-Z. Mama named him Sean Carter. But they are suing and they're saying that, I didn't get the official charge, but it has to do with them feeling like Jay-Z, Roc Nation, actually, he's saying that some lawyers from Roc Nation disguised themselves as somebody else and approached a witness that Busby was representing, I believe, and asked them to pretty much change their story. I think offered money, and the person caught all of this on some sort of recording. I'm not sure if it's audio or video, but he's saying that he has proof. And so he is pressing charges. At the same time, we have Jay-Z and his team that has put in a request to the judge to drop the whole thing. And that is because they're saying that it's obvious that the story was just pulled out of thin air, that they're trying to link Jay-Z to Puffy, and that is not what the case is. And then they also felt emboldened because the person that is accusing Jay-Z of what happened, 13-year-old at the time, her father is saying, baby, don't give me the lion. I ain't never picked that girl up from nowhere in the middle of the night on, after an award ceremony. He just does not remember that. Okay. He hasn't flat out said she's lying. That did not happen. But I think Jay-Z's team is relying on the fact that, it seems like if you were a father or a parent and you picking up your 13-year-old child in the middle of the night out there and they're probably traumatized when they get in the car, like you would remember that. Father said that he didn't. The girl said that it did still happen, that she didn't say anything when she got in the car with her father, that they just rode home. However, the father said that they lived hours away. Was it 3, 4, 5, somewhere between 3 and 5 hours away from the location? And that also was what made the father feel like he would have remembered that, because it's not like he just going around the corner, to pick her up from a slumber party. She's a long ways away from home. So there's still a lot of questions there. Apparently the girl has done an interview. I have not seen it. I didn't even know that until right before I was about to do this video. Otherwise I would have tried to look it up. But I saw that somebody in my comments had said that Jay-Z accuser did a video. So maybe she also has more on the story. I've heard a lot of rumors about the story as well. They're saying that the girl is, I don't know. I've read some things like she may have been like functioning autistic, and I don't know if that's just rumor, if that's just something that people have put out, or if that is what a fact is. But some people are saying that there are some mental challenges there with the girl and all of that. On the other side, Tony Busby is saying that, Roc Nation is trying to bully everybody, scare everybody, and that Tony Busby and his law firm will not be backing down. They will not allow themselves to be pushed any kind of way except for in the way of justice. So they're moving forward and they're pressing charges. And so far, Tony Busby does not seem to be shaken, um, stirred, or anything in this whole situation. He's moving forward. So that's what's going on there. Like I told you guys last week, now this is the third week I feel like that I've been talking about Jay-Z and this 13-year-old accusing him of sexually assaulting her. So they need to wrap it up. Like it's starting to get to be too big. It's starting to get to be, like I told you, you don't need these stories to continue to get big and big and big. It needs to get wrapped up or else they're going to lose control of it. So that is why they're trying to get this case thrown out. As of right now, I don't believe that they have thrown the case out. And we're just waiting and seeing. But yeah, this is going on. This is going on a lot. It's not at the top of my post. Like when I scroll on Instagram, every post is not Jay-Z like it had been. So I guess that is maybe good for Jay-Z's team, but yet and still the story is still out there. It still has legs. It still has legs. It still has steam. And there's that. Also, before I end up this segment, I was talking to Deborah yesterday and she was telling me how because it's hard to keep up with everything, child. It's hard. And she was telling me how apparently Forbes had put out a list for most influential I don't know. Don't let me get the lion. But Forbes had put out some sort of list, had something to do with like influential celebrities or entertainers, and Beyonce was on the list. All right. Don't quote me on what the name of the list was, but Forbes put out a list yesterday and she owned it. All right. Apparently, Forbes did not include Carter on her when they listed her name. They just put Beyonce Knowles. We don't know if Beyonce requested Forbes to take her name off, take Carter off of her name, because Beyonce has not said anything in any direction on this case against her husband. And I don't expect her to, because Beyonce doesn't normally speak out on things like this. So yeah, I don't know if Forbes is the one that removed the name or if she requested it. Now, if she requested it, that's one thing, but Forbes could also have just voluntarily removed Carter away from her, just trying to help the good sis out, like just in case some shit go left. Okay. And we find out something different about Jay-Z, we're going to take Carter off of this so that it won't even bring that attention to your name, and we'll just let you have this completely. Because another thing I think a lot of people are concerned about is the fact that Beyonce is going to have to pay for the sins of her husband, possibly, if alleged sins, if he did do anything, and she wasn't involved, and that wouldn't be fair. And then even if he didn't do anything, she has that last name. Everybody knows that that's her husband. Maybe they're thinking long term down the line. If Jay-Z is considered this bad person and all this, history will show that Forbes was trying to look out for her and just put her name as Beyonce Knowles. So we don't really know why they did that. As of right now, it looks like Beyonce is still 100% in her husband's corner. But again, we don't know that because she hasn't said anything. But we know in the past that, she sticks firm with her family, and they go through whatever they go through. They don't usually let people in on whatever is going on, and then they figure it out, and then they keep going. So, but yeah, it is too bad that Beyonce, if you are not one of those people that believe that Beyonce would be involved in something like this too, which I just cannot see her being involved in. I really can't see Jay-Z, but I mean, shit happens, and nobody is not impossible, But so that's what's going on there. But this whole story, like I said, we need to wrap it up. It needs to get wrapped up. But it don't look like it's gonna wrap up, because honey, Busby look like he's moving forward. Okay. So yeah, that's what's going on with that, y'all. Y'all let me know what you think about it. How y'all feeling about Jay-Z, his position, how his side is faring, how you feeling about Busby? Do you think who do you think has the upper hand so far in all of this? Okay. A lot of people have problems with the way that Jay-Z has been reacting to this situation. And all I can say about that is, I mean, if you were accused of something that you knew that you hadn't done, and it has the potential of ruining your life. This could ruin his life. Okay. You would probably have a lot of vigor behind you trying to defend yourself as well. So, I mean, I understand why he hasn't said anything very untoward towards the witness. It has mostly been towards Busby and making it seem like he's taking advantage of people who just don't know better. Okay. So, yeah, y'all let me know what you think about all that. And we're going to move on to the next story. All right, you guys, next story. So, gospel singer Leandra Johnson, you guys, she was arrested. She was arrested a couple of days ago out in Greenville, South Carolina for public drunkenness, public intoxication. All right. Someone said that she was arguing with somebody, a male. I'm not sure who the person was. They did not say, but they said that she was on a street. She had a cup in her hand, a styrofoam cup in her hand. I shouldn't laugh because it's not funny, but she had a styrofoam cup in her hand with some brown liquor or brown fluid that had the strong stench of alcohol. So they believe that, she was drinking in public out on the street with the styrofoam cup, going off on somebody. They said she was stumbling, she was slurring her words. So it was very clear that she was drunk. And someone called the police. So the police got there, they arrested her, took her down to the station, booked her, and then they released her on like a $257.50 bond. Okay, she has her court date of when she needs to report back and all that, and she's gone on about her business. I don't know much about Leandria Johnson. All I know is the girl's voice is phenomenal. I feel like Leandria is one of those ones that have been anointed with her voice, and isn't it something how people with that kind of anointing seems to, not everybody, but it seems like a lot of people that have that type of like blessing on their talents or their, that anointing on their voice, a lot of those people are the ones that have these kind of problems and issues. And it's sort of like, you watch a person going through these things and you just pray. It's almost like God is giving them a testimony. Like he wants to give you a testimony. So he lets you go through some things. And all you can do is pray that they get through the whole thing so that they can make it to the testimony. That's what the prayer is. The same with like DMX. I always felt like DMX had some sort of calling on his life. He knew that, and we saw that. However, the demons outpaced him and he could not seem to beat those demons. And, they eventually won. So it was like we never got to see DMX get to that level where we just felt like, I felt like that man was, I felt like he had a calling. He had an anointing on his life, and I kind of feel that same way for Leandria. I'm just hoping that she can get through all of the demons, all the shit, so that she can get to that testimony. Like I said, that's the thing. Like you need to make it over to the other side. And I know that I have seen things about her drinking, and I've even heard her talk about, her own drinking problems before. I think I saw a video going around where she was talking to Ayanla, and Ayanla was trying to get her to understand that she was an alcoholic, maybe a functioning alcoholic, maybe not an everyday binge, falling down drunk alcoholic. But, there's a lot of different alcoholism, a lot of things that would kind of consider you an alcoholic, even if you're not like a everyday type of drinker, So there's that. I want it for her because so many people, like when you hear her voice when she sings, it just touches so many people. And so I just hope that she can get through this because Thank God she wasn't driving. We're going to talk about drunk driving a little later, but, thank God she wasn't driving and all that. This story could be a lot worse. And so I just, before we get to that point, I just hope that, she can beat this, because she's special and the world needs her. All right. So, yeah, we're going to hope that, she can get some help for that and get her life back on the track that I'm sure she would love for it to be on, because she has a calling. You guys, that's it on that. Let's move on to the next story. All right, you guys remember that guy that jumped, the guy that was in court. I think he was in court in Clark County in Nevada, and he was there on a aggravated battery, a a felony battery charge, I believe. He was in court for this charge. The judge was talking to him, and it looks like she was kind of reprimanding him. So apparently she was pissing him off. And when I say him, I'm talking about Deobra Redden. Okay. And the judge was Mary Kay Holthus. So she was talking to him and reprimanding him, and he did not like that. He was getting increasingly upset, and suddenly he just decided. And he was standing at the desk with his lawyer. He ran around the desk, ran up to the judge, jumped over the damn desk of the judge, and I'm talking about the judge was up on a platform, so up high, was able to clear that desk. And the judge, just in the nick of time, was able to get out of the way, so he didn't just completely land on top of her, but he still got a hold of her, and pulled a little bit and pushed at her a little bit. They said that she got injured a little bit, but not enough to go to the hospital or anything. But I'm sure when you see a nigga come rushing up to you, you know, and they already there for something bad, and then they come rushing up to you, I'm sure her life flashed in front of her eyes, because it looked like that man, if he could have got to her, he was going to do some damage. Okay. No control over his anger. Probably some of the reason why he was there to begin with. And so, yeah, it even took them a couple of minutes to get him together. Like, they could not contain him. Like, he was crazy. I think the fact that they didn't have that much room back there, either that was a blessing or the curse, because, they was all jammed up behind the desk and, over close to the witness stand and everything. And it was just like pandemonium. So that was earlier this year. Fast forward to September, and now he's in court because of what he did with Judge Holthus. They decided to enter I think a guilty by insanity plea. Okay. And so now we fast forward to just the other day, we got a new judge that's presiding over the case. Of course, Holthus is not going to be presiding over her own case. Got a new judge, Susan Johnson, but she is a judge. Okay. And these judges look out for each other. It is a job that weighs heavily and it takes a lot, so when you do something to these judges, you best believe they're gonna throw the book at you. Okay. You cannot afford to be offending the judges and all of that shit. So that being said, Judge Susan Johnson lowered the boom on him and gave him 26 to 65 years. Okay. His team was asking for 4 to 11 years. And yeah, the judge saw that and raised it quite a bit. 26 to 65 years. I don't even know how that works. 25 to 65 years. I think is that including the original charge from the felony battery. 26 to 65 years, that does seem like a long time, but I just told you, like, it's the same as when people try to shoot at a cop and everything. We've always known that you shoot a cop, you kill a cop, those charges are going to be pretty severe. And the same with this judge, even though it didn't end as bad as it could have. Yeah. Yeah, the Judge Johnson said that she was fine with it because she felt like he had every intention to kill her. He had made that conscious decision to jump over the desk and try to get at her and everything. So he obviously that's what he wanted to do. So now you got to pay the consequences. All right. So yeah, Deobra Redden, it looks like he will be in jail for a long time. And the insanity plea, I don't know if that helped him or hindered him, but yeah, that's that on that. 25 to 26 to 65 years. You guys tell me, the real rock star lawyers, the real ones, you guys let me know, how does that 26 to 65 years thing work? Like, who determines whether it's going to be 26, 27, 28, 35, 40, 42, 63? You know, who determines that? How does that go? Y'all let us know. All right, and we're going to move on to the next story. All right, you guys, and then lastly for this video, you guys, there was a Wendy Williams sighting. Now, we've been talking about Wendy Williams. We just talked about it recently. You know, they're saying that she's permanently incapacitated, that she's not able to do anything. And, you know, she's always going to have a caretaker and, you know, somebody that's in charge of her finances and all that. I mean, I feel like the finance part is just the biggest part of this whole story. It's all about money. Wendy Williams has a lot of it. They're keeping it because they feel like she's not responsible enough to, you know, and that she's not even okay health wise in order to do that. This is something that we don't hear happening to many people. So, you know, we still got our good side eye on it, but it don't look like it's nothing that we can do about it. There was a Wendy Williams sighting in Florida apparently recently. I saw the video of it. She was in the backseat of an SUV and she looked good. Like, she looked like herself. You know, she did not look frail, and she didn't even look as bad as she did in the documentary that we saw about her. However, you guys, it's all in the eyes. You guys, it's all in the eyes. And you know, she was with her people, and her son was there too. I think her son, I saw her son in the video, but they were getting food, they were picking up food, and they must have realized that Wendy Williams, the food was for Wendy Williams and her people. So they had come outside, and you know, they were just like, how you doing? You know, she said, how you doing? And you know, they were talking to her, but you could tell that she wasn't, you know, everything was just sort of like, oh, yeah, you know, she wasn't really like her regular Wendy purple chair self that we're used to. But it was good to see Wendy. It was good, you guys, but it is heartbreaking to see her like that. You know, people were like, oh my God, you know, Wendy Williams is back. And, you know, they talking about, you know, she can't do this, but look at her. And I was looking and I was like, as much as I would love to say that, because there's so much stuff to talk about and only Wendy Williams can talk about some of this shit, you know, but as much as I would like to see Wendy be her regular shady self and talk about a lot of these stories, especially with Puffy, like, it's just crazy that all the shit that she said about Puffy, and it finally came, you know, at least that's what we are facing in the legal system, and that she can't even really comment on it now. It's just like craziness, you know? So, oh, I done lost my train of thought, y'all. Old brain, don't get old, y'all. But what I was saying is just that I saw it, and I, as much as I wanted that for her, I just am like, yeah, she's just not there. She is just not there. Do I still feel like it's unfair that they have taken control of her money like that? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I realize that I am not fully aware of the ins and outs of how these things work and everything. It just seems like if it's this woman's money, it's her money to waste. All right. Hell, if she wants to blow it all, then it seems like that should be okay. But, you know, it's just interesting that the state has stepped in like that. So it is what it is, you guys. But did you guys see the video? Did you see it? I mean, she did look good. You know, she wasn't all broke down and frail. I mean, her hair was together and her clothes was together and everything. But that vacant, like, struggling to like just stay on task, or, you know, that was there in the eyes. So yeah, heartbreaking, you guys. And we just gonna continue to just pray that Wendy Williams is able to live her life, you know, in comfort, and that she is with her family, and that people are taking care of her and that love her and not taking advantage of her, because that's all you can hope for at this point. All right. All right. All right, you guys, that's it for this one. We do this every single week, so make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Till next time, Roxstars. Bye.